most of what we think of as urban streets have certain...
One key element in a successful Interreg project is the support of politicians at all levels, from local to national to European. No one knows this better than Ben Hamilton-Baillie. He's travelling around Europe and beyond, preaching the philosophy of shared space, a term which has become a byword to urban planners like himself, looking for an alternative to the traditional streetscape in our towns and cities. Shared Space was also the name of an Interreg North Sea programme project, which took its inspiration from these ideas. The success of the Shared Space project owes much to the involvement of politicians.
It's possibly the most important single element, in that if we, as we are doing, increasingly recognise that streets form the fundamental part of the public space, the public realm of a city, and that public realm is vital in determining the future, the role and the qualities of a place, whether it attracts investment, what a place is meant to be. Now that is a political question.
The rerouting of a major road in the West Flanders port city of Ostend gave urban planners involved in the Interreg project the chance to try out some of the shared space ideas. The area has now been turned into a tranquil retreat at the city's heart. But at first there were a lot of questions from city residents and some opposition. Without the support of Interreg and strong political leadership, it may never have got off the ground.
The big thing here in Ostend was that the policymakers first made a clear image of the way they would have to develop the city. And then afterwards the designers came. So there was a very strong political statement of how they wanted the city develop.
In the end, the politicians sign the decisions, make the decisions. If money goes into these projects, co-finance these projects or not, they have to be enthusiastic. They have to have these clicks, this little flame that says, this is interesting. So without the politicians, nothing will happen.
Brussels-based politicians are generally skilled at generating media attention. They have to be, or their messages would never be heard. Tapping into this publicity machine was not part of the original North Sea Programme project game plan, but it paid dividends for the stakeholders and the politicians alike.
They both can profit because the politicians have access to the media. And if I discuss about shared space, I will mention the city of Boomte, or more the village of Boomte in Germany. Nobody knows it. But in the context of shared space, because they have been very courageous to do it, now Boomte is well known all over Europe because they have made a good example, a best practice example of shared space.
Boomte, population 13,000, is near Osnabrück in Lower Saxony. It sprang to national and international fame when it redesigned its traffic-choked town centre under the umbrella of the Shared Space project. The message for project leaders is clear. The involvement of politicians at all stages of the process can make a huge difference.
One of the main learning points from 3B to 4B has been that the most successful 3B projects and those who actually achieved some of the things we're looking for in 4B had a very heavy involvement of local politicians.
What happens is that people at the local level, they agree cooperation, very good idea, and so on and so forth. Regions, the regional politicians, they say, yes, fine, we want to cooperate and all the rest of it. And then where does the discussion go? It goes off to ministers of finance. Ministers of finance operating at the national level, they look at it in an entirely different way and they say, no, we don't want to finance that. So you've got to have an understanding of what happens right the way through. You've absolutely got to.